Hi guys, it's been a while. I took a little mental health break and spent some time with family, but I'm back because I wanted to share some important student loan news with you. I know a lot of you have come to the channel to get information about student loan, and there's been a lot of news, not just the forbearance supposedly being extended, but some other important news about if you're a federal FedLoan service recipient, how the ending of the new contract is going to affect you and what you can be doing in the next less than 6 months to make sure that this transition is as smooth as possible. Let's talk about it. Okay, so the information I'm about to give is for people who have FedLoan as their service provider, but essentially can probably apply to any of you guys who have student loans that are backed by the federal government. So if you have a student loan that's backed by the federal government has contracted with these private companies to maintain it, to service it for you. And as of last week, FedLoans announced that they're not going to be renewing their contract with the federal government. And so anybody whose federal loan is serviced by FedLoans is going to be moved to another provider. We'll determine who that will be, but it just gives you a clue that any of the service providers could at any point say that they're not going to renew their contract with the federal government. What should you do to prepare for that and make sure that you don't have any problems with the government? Because this is a federally backed loan, although a private company is actually doing the servicing. Comment below. I want to know how many of you guys have Fed loans as well as me. I have Fed loans, and if you watch my other video, the public service loan forgiveness video, or even my live where I talk about the consolidation process, if you have Fed loans, this is going to really impact you. And I want to know who has Fed loans, what are the other service providers that you guys have been working with, and what has been your experience. Since I'm going to be leaving Fed loans, I kind of want to know what you guys have experienced with the other loan servicers so that I can prepare myself for, or maybe it could be a good thing, a positive thing. Like, yes, I'm glad Fed loans never did that, and I'm glad that this loan services actually does that. So let me know below in the comments. So the first thing I would say is, as a lawyer, if you're new to the channel, as a lawyer, I'm going to always make sure to advise you to make sure that you have documentation of anything. So I'm going to give you advice for those who have just regular federal loans and those of you who are on the public service loan forgiveness track. Document everything. So go in there right now, log into your account, and print out all your payment summaries so that you have evidence of all the payments you've made. This is particularly important for the people who are on the public service loan forgiveness track because you have to have documented 120 payments within a certain period of time. And let's say during the transition from Fed loan servicing to another loan servicer, they said, oh, we don't have any record of those payments. The heck you don't. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to log in, download the payment schedule to show all your payments that you've made. So you'll have it in a computer or email it to yourself. Also print it out. Just have a hard copy of it as well. Just to have multiple ways that you're keeping track of things. Sometimes it may get to a point where you have to prove that you've made these payments, and you may have a hard time like going through all your bank statements. If you just print it out straight from the website, you at least have this record documented. And I say this is very important because a lot of times when companies transition, things get lost in the transition. Oh, we didn't know, we didn't have the record. We don't have any record telling you anything. Always have the documentation with the letterhead at the top to say like, no, this is the payment schedule that I've already made, and this is what it shows that I should have remaining. So there is no problem during this transition. Also, another word of advice is I want you to make sure you have the correct mailing address and email address in your profile on Fed Loans, because more than likely they're going to be contacting you within the next few months to let you know that this new company will be taking over your payments, and we want to make sure that you have the correct information so that they can contact you. So you can set up, if you already have automatic payments set up, you can have those already in place to let you know who the actual new servicer is. If you don't have your updated contact information, you can miss very important information. This I try to stress with a lot of people because they say, I didn't get a phone call, I didn't get an email, I didn't get anything in mail. Make sure all your contact information is updated in your profile. So log into your profile now and make sure that it's all the way up to date. I know that people are right now on the student loan forbearance and is scheduled to re-up in October. The likelihood of that happening probably just got a little bit less, likely, because if Fed Loans as a servicer is not renewing their contract effective in December, and we're supposed to be starting loan repayment in October, that's going to be an administrative nightmare. And I don't see them wanting to have any problems with that happening. Don't quote me on it, but I foresee that because of the change, especially with one of the federal loan servicers, they're going to have to say how we're going to make this look logistically. Now, if you don't have Fed loans, that's okay, because you may end up benefiting from the fact that this one loan servicer decided to say, I'm not managing the federal government student loans any longer. If you have the other loans, I know you can't usually pick which loans that you are going to have serviced by which servicer unless you go ahead and refinance with another loan servicer. But I want to make you aware that in this instant, I don't know how they're going to give you the opportunity to choose whoever else is going to be on the loan services list. But pay attention. I think all of them have room for improvement. So pay attention to my advice about making sure you have documentation of everything, because I guess everybody is human. They have human people managing the service loans, payments, and things of that nature. You don't want anything coming up, especially if you're on that public service loan forgiveness plan. If you're close to getting that 120 payments, you do not need somebody coming in at the last minute and saying, oh, we don't have documentation of you making that 120th payment, or even like there might be a loss. We have 12 payments that are missing, something like that. You don't want that to happen at the end. I'm going to end up doing another video about the student loan forbearance because that's coming up. The extension of it, or maybe not the extension of it, is coming up soon. I'm going to do another video about that, but I wanted to drop in, tell you guys about this Fed loan contract not being renewed so that you can get your ducks in a row and prepare for that transition. And hopefully it's a smooth transition, but in the case that it's not, I wanted to give you some advice. See you in the next video.